Hey everybody, this is Minion Soldier and this is the Piracy Show. And on today's show I kind of want to deal with a question which came on the video, hacks and asymmetrical solutions. Now the question was from a guy named Blackmore, and it reads, with what I have seen in the game so far, people that want to play on the shady side of the law don't seem to play well with each other. Do you think that this can change and people who live outside the law could have a sort of truce? How can you have a wretched den of thieves if as soon as 2 or more people log in inside Grim Hex, they start shooting each other? Now, really this is kind of, it's kind of a two-stage problem. The second stage has not manifested itself yet, but the first stage has. And the first stage is, it's the fishbowl. All the players who are playing Star Citizen, and even if you can only get 24 or 25 into an instance right now, we're still in a fishbowl together. I mean, you're basically trapping everybody in this small area. Everyone's going after the same objectives. There's the one PI mission. There's the one place where you can lower your criminal rating at Grim Hex. There's not a lot of different places to go to get things done. So realistically, players don't have a lot of options, and so they come into collision a lot. Now, as the universe opens up and as it becomes broader, you're going to see people more spread out, and these situations might mitigate themselves a little bit, if not entirely. But hopefully we'll have, a solution to those problems, and the problems of the elevator door that doesn't seem to work fixed real soon. Also, there's really no consequence to a shooting war outside of Grim Hex right now. You get shot up, so what? You just you just wake up in a bed and you go and you do it again. And there's no cost. Your ammunition doesn't cost you anything. Your weapons, your armor, all that. I mean, realistically, once you go out and you buy a set of armor, you own it, and it's fine, and you have it. You never have to worry about losing it. And so once there's an actual cost applied to things, then I think you're going to see a lot of this reckless and sometimes just stupid behavior just cast off by most players, because it never really takes you anywhere. Now, the second part of the problem really is a much larger universe problem, and that is, can pirates have a truce? Can pirates work together? Or can pirates more or less, work together to achieve objectives while not killing each other first? And the truth is, I think so. I think the right pirates with the right mentality can work together and can declare truce and can make money working together as a team. But you're going to have to find the right sort of people, because not everyone is going to have that practical, pragmatic point of view. Some people are just going to be like, let's just shoot guns and make shit explode, yeah. And other people are going to be like, force is something that you apply surgically, and you get in, you get your objective, and you get out. You don't waste time, because wasting, time is a commodity as well that is extremely valuable. And a lot of people just, they just want to spend their time shooting guns, making shit explode. Whereas other people, they're like, I have objectives, I have goals that I want to achieve, and I want to do so efficiently, and I want to do so at the least amount of personal expense possible. And those are going to be the kind of people that you're probably going to want to look for. Let me give you a practical example. All right. So, as many of you know, I'm also a big World of Warcraft player. I've always loved that game, and I especially love to play my rogue. Now, currently in game, there are these free-for-all quest areas. There's my rogue. And in these free-for-all quest areas, people compete to basically complete these objectives. Now, this is everyone against everyone. This isn't just Alliance versus Horde. This can be Horde versus Horde. And so, generally, as people are trying to compete and fight each other to get to these objectives, it generally degenerates into a brawl, and everybody, is basically wasting time. But since I'm playing a rogue, I have stealth as an advantage. So while everybody is busy beating each other across the head, I'm just sneaking around, and stealing the objectives, completing them, and then walking out with my ill-begotten goods. There you go. Problem solved. Everyone else can fight each other for all I care, as long as I get my objectives completed. Now in Star Citizen, the difference is that you simply can't res at a graveyard and, you know, go back and keep working at the mission. You can't do that. If your character dies, there's going to be some serious penalties, or wounded or whatever. So as that reality sets in on people, they're going to have to learn, oh shit, I'm going to have to cooperate with others, you know? I'm going to have to look at different ways of achieving my objectives rather than just running around with a shotgun, spraying everywhere and hoping that I complete the mission. You know, that's going to lead to being poor. Whereas people who work together, people who sit there and say, you know what, instead of doing it this way, let's do it this way because it's more efficient and we have a better chance of achieving our objective. If we kind of avoid conflict in certain areas when it's not profitable and focus more on increasing our profit, that's really, I think, one of the core ideas that's going to carry successful pirates forward, is knowing that there is a time to pull the trigger and there's a time to not pull the trigger. You know, it's about getting things done, and sometimes, you know, getting stuck into a big melee isn't efficient. It isn't the way to achieve your objective. Sometimes it's better to sneak around and do things the other way and still achieve the same desired goal, but without all the bullshit that goes along with it. Now, there are going to be just players who are just in it for the pew pew, bang bang, boom boom, all that. But I think as the game evolves and as the costs and the reality of combat set in on players, I think the criminal side of things, at least, is going to definitely evolve into a much more sophisticated type of criminal that realizes that it isn't just about earning easy PvP points. It's about surviving and about making a profit, and that means making alliances or temporarily working together with different groups to achieve the same objective, and then walk away from things and say, you know what, I can either maybe turn on these guys now and try to steal their stuff too, but I've now made a friend and someone who's proven to be proficient and reliable, so why not keep that person handy, because who knows, down the road I might need them again, and that's one less person I have to look for when I'm looking over my shoulder. And so people are going to have to start to balance that out, and I think the behavior that we see now is fishbowl behavior. It's everyone fighting over like these little scraps of resources, but as the game broadens and the options open up, I think people are going to become a lot more sophisticated, especially on the piracy side. Now, it would probably ring true with non-pirates as well, but for pirates, there's always that added risk. So I think that's really how things are going to evolve. I mean, that's my take on it, at least. Now, one of the missions that we saw recently, in fact, at the Gamescom demo, was the get the flight data recorder. Pirates are fighting for the same flight data recorder, so are the legitimate players. And a melee ensues, right? And they're fighting, and of course then we got to see the big Idris versus Idris thing, yada yada yada. For me, my approach to that mission, if I saw that going on and if I had the same mission, was I would wait until these two groups started fighting. And then I would kind of sneak in with my cutlass, hop on the Dragonfly, zip right in, steal the flight data recorder, go back to the cutlass, and then just bounce, get the hell out of there. I wouldn't worry about getting into the melee, or, you know, oh, I gotta get in there and I gotta show them what a great pilot I am. No, I'm going in to steal the mission objective if I can and get the hell out of there and just let them fight it out thinking it's still there, when meanwhile I took it and it's long gone. That's, I think, for pirates, that's kind of the mentality I think that's going to lead to success, is the idea that, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and find a way to achieve my objectives in such a way that people are either too distracted or even unaware that I was there to complete the mission in the first place. I want to be 10 light years away with the mission objective in my cargo hold, while these other guys are still duking it out trying to see who wins. That is my ideal. That is what I aim for, and that's, you know, kind of always my objective is, don't just go in there and just kick in the door and start shooting everything. Is there a way that you can get in there and get things done without anybody ever knowing that you were there in the first place? As the game kind of becomes Star Citizen and moves away from the demo to the actual game, I think you're going to start to see a lot more people gravitate towards that type of thinking once they realize the costs and the personal expenditures, you know, in time that it takes to complete these objectives. People are going to start looking at it and start saying, you know, I don't really want to get into all these bullshit fights. I want to be able to just achieve my objectives and get away with it. And so I think as the game becomes more sophisticated, you're going to see pirates becoming a lot more sophisticated. And this whole shootout outside of Grim Hex thing is going to slowly die out. Anyways, that's the show for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.